What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Wrestle Wellbeing. I'm your host, Jim. Today, I'm going to be, as you can tell by the title, going to be rewriting Wrestlemania 28, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight title match. As we know, this is kind of what kicked off the yes movement for Daniel Bryan, as the crowd felt as though Daniel Bryan wasn't appreciated as much as he should be, wasn't used in the right way, and people just wanted to see him be pushed to the main event scene. So, so this rewriting, I've got 3 scenarios in total. I'm going to be going through each scenario during this video. I hope that you like it. If you don't, let me know why in the comments below. If you do, that's great. I'd like to know that even more. If you could like, share, and subscribe this video, I massively appreciate it. Also, shout out to StreamYard, the streaming service that I'm using to do this video on. Also, want to send a special shout out to Liam of the Magic Wrestling podcast, who helped me set up my channel as well. So thanks a lot to Liam. You're doing well, mate. If you want to go check him out, go check him out. Give him a like. Tell him that Jim sent you. So, I also just want to address something. If you do see something white on my hand, I recently got out of hospital. So I'm going to explain why very briefly before we get into this video. So last week, I noticed that I'd got a bite on my thumb, on the top of my thumb here. Left it over the weekend, to which it grew 3 times the size of my thumb. So it was quite alarming. Thankfully, I actually work in hospitals for work. Hello to Tiffany. Hope you're doing well, love. And during the service at the hospital, one of the nurses saw this bite on my thumb and said, "You need to go to A&E." Went down to A&E, who then referred me to the plastic surgery ward. Fast forward a couple of hours later, the consultant said to me, "You need surgery," which was quite an alarming thing when I just thought it was a simple bite on my thumb. Usually with home remedies, stick it in some warm TCP water, stick it in some water with some salt in just to clean the wound out and what have you, stick a pin in it, pop it and squeeze it. Nothing worked. So went to the hospital, saw the surgeon, went in for surgery. I think I was down for about 2 hours in total, felt about half an hour for myself. Had the entirety of my right arm numbed so they could do the surgery. Came out, and the surgeon told me that they'd actually pulled out a lot of diseased dead fat in my thumb, which caused me to stay in hospital for an extra 2 days. So I was in from Monday afternoon to Wednesday afternoon. So quite disheartening for me to be in there. Quite a challenge on my mental health as well. But thankfully, the way that I got through it was with the help of my family, also my friends, and just watching wrestling, really. Was able to rewatch a couple of my favourite matches of all time, a couple of my favourite PLEs, including WrestleMania 17. Watched a couple of Bray Wyatt's matches. As you probably know from my bookings, I do quite a lot of Bray Wyatt's bookings. I'm a big fan of Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. I'm also a big fan of Undertaker. Undertaker is possibly my favourite wrestler of all time. Obviously, people will have different opinions. Everyone's welcome to their own opinion, in my view. But so if I was to give someone a piece of advice, I would say that if you experience a bite on any part of your body, you're not sure where it's come from, you're not sure how you've gotten it, please do yourself a favour, go to A&E or go to the ER if you're in America. Because I know that quite a few people in America watch these videos, which I'm really happy about. I'm also really blessed that my last video got a lot of views. I think I got about 123 views on my last video, which was rewriting Bray versus Taker, which is absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough for watching these videos. It really does mean a lot to me. I don't expect many people to watch these, to be fair, because I'm not the greatest at this type of stuff. I'm just doing this because I like talking about wrestling. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So this is Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan World Heavyweight Title match, WrestleMania 28 rewrite. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys like this video. Stick around, give this a like, give it a share. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Really appreciate it. Any advice, any tips or anything like that, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, if you like this video, let me know why. If you don't, let me know why, and I'll try and improve for the future. So let's get into it, guys. So as I said, guys, I'm going to be doing 3 scenarios for this match. The first one is, I like to call it the gritty, hard-fought battle. So instead of the 16-second squash, the match is billed focusing on Sheamus's raw power and Bryan's technical brilliance and resilience. Bryan constantly outsmarts Sheamus in the lead-up, using his speed and agility to avoid devastating blows, especially with the axe handle, with bro kicks, with white noise, and things like that. Sheamus, frustrated, vows to end Bryan's reign decisively at WrestleMania. The match itself starts with Bryan using his quickness to frustrate Sheamus even more, hitting and moving, targeting his legs to ground the bigger man. Obviously, Bryan is known for his kicks, his very fast offenses, and things like that. Sheamus uses his power to the best of his ability because, as we all know, Sheamus is quite a hard-hitting guy, to cut off Bryan's offense. Delivering impactful slams and strikes, Bryan absorbs incredible punishment but keeps fighting back and submission attempts and innovative counters. There's multiple near falls for both men. Bryan locks in the yes lock several times. Each time Sheamus barely reaches the ropes, or he's having to use his power to get out of these. So he picks him up, slams him with the powerbomb, does it again and again and again to eventually break the hold. Sheamus connects with a bro kick, but Bryan kicks out at the last second, and this is quite a big shock to the audience. I would have it like a 2.999. So everyone is expecting, oh, here we go. This is Sheamus beating Bryan, but no, Bryan kicks out right at the last second, and everyone's like, oh my God, Bryan could actually do this. So it's not as quick as the match in real life, but the finish does come quite quickly. It sees Sheamus, desperate and exhausted, finally connect with a second and more devastating bro kick after a hard-fought sequence, leaving Bryan unable to continue. For me, this scenario works because it portrays Bryan as an incredibly resilient underdog. It pushes Sheamus to his limit. Sheamus's victory feels earned through a grueling battle, and it's not seen as a fluke. Obviously, a lot of people saw the match as a bit of a waste because obviously Bryan is very good in the ring. Sheamus is also very good in the ring, but I think that the time restraint of what was going on in the rest of WrestleMania took away quite a lot from the spotlight from these two guys. Obviously, very good workers and everything like that. So that's the first scenario. So the second scenario I like to call the strategic power versus technical masterclass. So the narrative centers on a clash of styles. Sheamus obviously emphasizes his brute force and ability to end matches quickly with a swift bro kick. One bro kick and you're out. That's it. Done. Dusted. Bryan highlights his technical prowess, submission skills, and ability to exploit any weakness. The story is that Bryan needs to be perfect to overcome Sheamus's power. Obviously, in other feuds that Bryan's had, particularly against Big Show, bigger men like Big Show and Mark Henry and people like that, he's been cheating to win. He's been using his small power, his smaller stature to get around people with his speed and what have you. So we're going to really focus on Bryan using that, but in a positive way, so that is seen as someone that's using his speed and his stamina to his advantage, sort of thing. So the match starts, and it's really a chess match. Bryan meticulously targets specific limbs of Sheamus, chopping him down, because at the end of the day, he's like a big tree, Sheamus, as we all know. He's a big guy, he's a big, strong dude. So he's trying to weaken. So Bryan's trying to weaken Sheamus and set him up for submissions. Do apologize. Sheamus tries to overwhelm Bryan with powerful strikes and throws. So he's throwing elbows, he's throwing punches, he's throwing lariats, all things like that. So Bryan uses his environment strategically, using the ropes and turnbuckles to his advantage. So maybe a drop toe hold into the bottom turnbuckle. He's using the ropes as well. So he's getting Sheamus on the second rope. He's utilizing the 5 count. Because at the end of the day, Bryan is seen as a heel in this. Sheamus is seen as a face, so Bryan plays off the heel character. Sheamus shows surprising ring awareness, countering some of Bryan's technical maneuvers with some raw power. So he's just absolutely battering Bryan as best he can. He's hitting him with axe handles, lariats, punches, power bombs, just hitting him with everything he's got. The turning point comes when Bryan attempts a risky high-flying maneuver, and Sheamus catches him in midair, delivering a devastating powerbomb. Now, Sheamus does this powerbomb, and a lot of people think that's it, Bryan's done, because that looked really nasty. So then Sheamus goes to the corner, does the big fella, starts banging his chest. Obviously, I can't do that because of my hand. Follows up with a brogue kick while Bryan is still reeling from the impact, securing a hard-fought victory. For me, this works as well because this version showcases the strength of both wrestlers. Bryan's intelligence and technical skills are still on full display, but it also shows his tenacity in the heel character. While Sheamus's power is presented as the ultimate equalizer, the finish feels like a result of Sheamus capitalizing on a crucial mistake by Bryan. Perhaps Bryan goes for a flying headbutt, or he goes for a missile dropkick, in which Sheamus catches him and powerbombs him. Third scenario, I'm not too keen about this one, but I wrote it just in case that the first two weren't seen as plausible. Now, this one might not seem as plausible to you. If it's not, let me know in the comments below. If you like this one, let me know, and we can go with this one. End of the day, you guys are the boss. So scenario 3 is the interference angle. It's controlled and story-driven. So with this, you could possibly have it that Sheamus doesn't really align with the authority, but is made into like a hitman. So you could possibly change it that Bryan and Sheamus do a double turn. So Bryan becomes your face, Sheamus becomes the heel. Let me know. So a subtle storyline is introduced where a heel stable such as the Authority get involved and they take an interest in Sheamus, possibly Sheamus. For the entirety of this feud, of the build-up between Sheamus and Bryan up to WrestleMania, you could have the Authority come to Sheamus saying, hey, we can help you get the title. We can help you get the world title. We can help you get Bryan. We can help you with this. He's like, no, I don't want any help. I don't need any help, fella. I don't need any help, fella. Because the Authority can see Sheamus as a very dominant champion. They subtly interfere in some of his matches leading up to WrestleMania, giving him an unfair advantage. So you could have, let's say, example, Sheamus is in the ring against, I don't know, Cesaro. Obviously, them two guys are very hard-hitting guys. Sheamus could get the advantage, and then he could slip up. Then Cesaro gets the advantage, and while the referee's not looking, everyone's favourite J&J security could attack him from behind, knocking him down, and Sheamus is like, what are you doing? I don't need any help. But he pins him anyway, 1, 2, 3, gets the win. Sheamus doesn't seem too happy about the interference from the Authority, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. So he's going to take it. So the match is competitive. The start of the match is very competitive, with both men getting significant offense. Bryan is wary of potential interference, but focuses on the match. So you've got the Authority around ringside. You've got Kane, Big Show, if you like, J&J security. You can have them guys. You can have Triple H and Stephanie at ringside if you want. It's entirely up to you guys. I'm just giving you the tools for the story. So late in the match, Bryan has Sheamus in a vulnerable position. So he could have him in the yes lock. A subtle distraction occurs at ringside. Possibly J&J security get on the ropes, or Kane gets up. Referee is momentarily distracted. And during this, Sheamus hits a low blow. Or can use a foreign object given by, say, Triple H. Gives him a sledgehammer, if you like. So Sheamus then quickly follows up with a brogue kick to secure the tainted victory. After the match, Bryan protests vehemently, setting up a potential rematch or feud with the Authority, because this will then, while still including a controversial finish, this scenario provides a clear reason why Sheamus's victory beyond just a quick strike. It also allows for a continuation of the storyline and also protects Bryan from a clean, decisive loss in the long match. Because in my view, I believe that because it was such a quick match, that it made Bryan look very stupid, very silly, very easily manipulated. Obviously, it was AJ that got up on the ring ropes and kissed Bryan to then turn around, bro kick straight in the face, 1, 2, 3, and that started like the downward spiral sort of thing. So a couple of key elements to include in this is that the match needs to be at least 10 to 15 minutes to feel like a proper, realistic World Heavyweight Championship contest at WrestleMania. Both wrestlers should have periods of dominance and believable near falls, just so that it makes it believable that both guys have put all their effort into this match. Because at the end of the day, it's the Showcase of the Immortals, it's a WrestleMania starting match. I mean, you look a bit forward into the future where you had Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, one of my personal favorite WrestleMania openers for the Universal title. It was brilliant. It was really good. And also, you've got the comment. Also, it shows clear storytelling within the match. The commentators should highlight the contrasting styles with the stakes involved. Obviously, you've got Sheamus, who was a big bruiser. He's a very big dude who can use hard-hitting offenses. You've got Daniel Bryan, who's very quick, who's very decisive with his kicks and his strikes and his submissions, wearing people down, being able to capitalize on his ring IQ, because he's a very smart guy in the ring. Also, you've got the selling and the pacing. Both wrestlers need to sell the effects of the offense and maintain a compelling pace throughout the match. By focusing on a more substantial match and a compelling narrative, even with Sheamus retaining the title, because I'm not changing the outcome of the match, I'm just changing how the match took place. Because in my view, this was a real catalyst into why Bryan got the push into the Yes movement. But if you give it more of a compelling match, where it's a bit longer, where you can see Bryan's offense taking place, being a lot more effective, and just showing that it's not just a slack champion, he showed that it can be a real contender for the championship, then it's going to get more people behind him, sort of thing. So there you go. And also the WrestleMania encounter could have been a much more satisfying and memorable moment for all involved, because I'm not going to lie, it was very underwhelming, this match. They didn't really capitalize on the movement behind Bryan. There was a lot of fans in the arena that really liked Bryan. Obviously, a lot of people online like Bryan and this, that, and other. So it was a very, in my opinion, a very missed booked opportunity. So that's the end of the rewrite, guys. That's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. If you do, give this a like. Let me know why. If you don't like it, let me know why in the comments. I'll try my best to read any comments and what have you. So the next match that I'm going to rewrite is a match that I've been asked to do by another friend. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a match that I've wanted to do for a long time. A lot of people say that this is a very misbooked match. For me, it just had the worst ending, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people said that. Even the guys involved have said that. So the next video is going to be me rebooking SummerSlam 2010, The Nexus versus Team Cena. So I hope that you guys will watch that video. Join me on that video. Hopefully you'll watch it and enjoy it. Like I said, guys, I'm always here. While we're talking about mental health as well, make sure that you check up on your friends. Give them a quick message. Give them a quick ring. Just ask how they are. And even if you don't do that, bring your parents. Because at the end of the day, we've only got one lot of parents. And they need some love as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. and I'll catch you in a bit.